So do you all think that you know me? On my side to get something. I turn my back, hear you talking. Say I'm too far gone now. I said, hey, what gives you the right?
Welcome to Backyard Plinking. My name is Charles. I'll be your host as we go through and explore everything BB and pellet related, from air pistols to air rifles, targets, and ammo. She's on a roll. Yeah, I know. Anyway, we're going to do a little experiment. We're going to use the Gamo Viper Express, the shotgun slash 22 caliber smooth bore. We're going to fire some 22 caliber pellets and some of the shot. And this will be our target. It's got some little circles on here. I mean, I'm not the best shot in the world, but I ain't the worst either. Besides, you only got one sight. But we're going to change the camera angle, go at it from a different perspective, long range. Okay, new perspective. I think it's weird from there. You ought to be over here. Anyway, see, there's another flower pot target down there. I didn't tell you guys. I'm kind of impressed with those. I like the way they worked out. You know, the one that's down at the end, I took and cut a piece of 1/2 inch pressure treated lumber and put to the back of it. I mean, it's almost 1 3/4 inches, maybe a little over, thick. You know, plus the cover that's in the front. And it's thick enough on the inside that we can actually mount some metal plates, so the bigger I get, I'll be able to send it into it. Plus the fact that it's just that thick coming out this way. So no matter what happens, there's no shrapnel. I don't have to worry about anything, you know, tearing my fence up over there, going into the neighbor's yard, whatever. I mean, the backstop that's over here is great. You know, it's 4 feet by 8 feet. There's nothing on the other side of this fence for 65 yards. Down there, not so much. The other one that's over here, of course, they still need to be painted and covered. But, you know, I can pick them up, I can move them, I can mow around them, I can put them back where I want them. And, I mean, that thing right there is 3/4 of an inch thick. I think that's just about the way to go. You know, even though you might go through and spend, you know, $25, $26, $34. But it's a one-time deal. I mean, you do it and you're done with it. Versus buying the timber, you know, the plywood, the 2x4s, the screws, digging the holes, making it a permanent fixture, having to mow around it, having to do all that kind of stuff. Just pick them up and move them. The little one right here. Now, I haven't put the backing on it yet, and I didn't do that for a reason, because we're going to see how much juice this thing has to, you know, going through 1/4 inch plywood, which is all that's in the back of this one. But I will upgrade it and make it a little thicker. So we'll wind up with a 5 yard, a 10 yard, and a 15 yard. I can move back a little bit more. We'll have 20 yards. I can go all the way back to the back of the fence. We got a 30-yard shot. Anyway, let's try these. Targets on the far right-hand side, 2 red circles. We'll try them first. You know, I'm not the best shot in the world, but I ain't the worst either. Smooth bore, 1 bead. That's it. Just a little low. But if it'll shoot low consistently, I'm okay with that. I'm going to do 2 here. We're going to do 2 at 10, 2 at 15. When we start back, we're going to use the shot shells. See what kind of pattern we can get. Consistently low. Let me move it back. We'll try again. Alright, so we're back at 10. The paper that's in the center, it's the one I'm going to aim at. So far, the 2 at 5 yards, consistently low. Still low. Get a little lower. I mean, I know it's probably a little hard to see those red circles from where you are, but from here it's like going to dark paint. I went ahead and pulled my shot up a little bit. The center paper, we're actually in the red. I'm going to move it back one more time. Take 2 shots back there. Then we'll take a look at it. I'm going to take it back to the 15-yard marker. We're going to shoot the shot shells at it. Alright. These 22 calibers are going straight through that 1/4 inch plywood at the back. So, to keep from tearing my fence up, behind it now is 2 pieces of firewood. Yeah, I know it's really hard to see what I'm looking at, you know, through the camera, but it's alright. We're going to get 2 shots off, and I'm going to bring it back. If I can see it. Maybe I should have made it black instead of red. Yeah, I'll pull that one high. Trying to overcompensate. See if we can get on the bottom one. Now it's running way high. Let me go get it. Five yards. Shot way low. 10 yards. Still shooting low. I compensated. I got that one. 15 yards. Way high to the left. Way high to the left. And I even tried to adjust a little bit for this one. But it's a smooth bore. there are no riflings. I mean, it is what it is. Take it back down there and we'll try the shot shells. Alright, number 9 shot shell. When I go through and reload some of these things, I'm going to do some 8, some 9. We'll go back and try this again and see if there's a big difference. 15 yards. Probably going to tear my fence all to pieces. Target on the left. Move it up 10 feet, unless it's everywhere. Move it up 10 feet, try to get 10 feet. Move it up to the 10-yard mark and we'll try it again. Jesus. Quiet down in there. Alright, 10 yards. Now, the one at 15, there was only one pellet that moved over into the center sheet that I'm going to be shooting at next. Move it again. Alright, we're at about 5 yards now. The one I did at 10, most of the shot went to the right hand side, but it all stayed in that center target. Wow. We actually got part of the plastic wadding this time. That close. Let me go get it. We'll take a look. Well, that was interesting to say the least. I mean, once again, it's a smooth bore, so it's consistent rounds, but it seemed to do a little better around 10 yards. I had more control over where the shot was going to go than at 5 yards, which were consistently low. At 15, consistently high and to the left. The shot pattern, $15. I mean, that's a pretty wide pattern. And they're small pellets. 10, you know, we're getting closer. At 5, and that right there was a piece of the plastic wadding that they put in there. I mean, it's grouped up pretty good. So, I mean, if you want to take this thing and if you got a snake problem or something like that, this is probably the way to go. Now, we'll try this test again once I go through and reload some of the capsules. We'll use 8-shot, a little smaller, but I can get more of them in there. They should have the same velocity, you know, as the other ones did. But just as a note, I mean, don't forget, you know, from 5, 10 to 15, the plywood on the back of this thing is actually 5/16. It's not a quarter. See what it did to it, even at 15 yards. That's the reason you always need to make sure where you're aiming, what's behind it, what can I do to stop it. But get the rest of the range done up, painted, decorated, We got a facade thing we're going to put over here. Got the couple of surprise things we're going to do, and we even found a place for the treadmill. Sorry. The Plink Master 2000. It's going to get fun. Till next time, my name is Charles. This has been Backyard Plinking.